Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Joe Smith, and this is not Paddock Live, Transfers Live, because transfer season is almost upon us. It's later on this month, so we're already getting into the nitty-gritty with transfers. But of course, that isn't the biggest story. The biggest story centres around the takeover bid, and there's been a lot of movement there today with a fresh bid from Sheikh Jassim Hamad Bil Al Thani. Yes. So we'll get into all that. We'll talk about the latest bid news. So please, as always, get involved in the comments in the chat and let us know what you think about that. We'll talk about transfers. Harry Maguire could be going out the door. He could be going to the new Europa Conference champions, West Ham. Yeah, I'm sorry to say again, it's Moise. Won his first big trophy since the Charity Shield.
Won his first trophy.
Yeah, we don't count the Charity Shield, do we? I don't, anyway.
Who does?
Yeah, so Harry Maguire could be going there. We'll get into that. Also, a little bit of an update on Min Jae, Harry Kane. Anything else? Mason Mount, maybe.
Dean Henderson.
Dean Henderson.
All sorts kicking off.
It's all happening. First of all, though, we'll just mention this. West Ham have just beaten Fiorentina in the Europa Conference final. Your thoughts on that? Your feelings on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, hated what he did against for United as manager David Moyes, but because he has some association with United, that tends to give him a 1% edge of, you know, I don't mind them winning it over Fiorentina, but didn't really care. Although his celebrations were quite funny running on the pitch, and then his dancing at the end. His
dancing was
absolutely he did cringe. Look like someone's sort of nan at a Zumba class, didn't he?
Brilliant.
Like a dance fit or something like that. In front of the crowd, dancing in front of everyone. Pretty good. You know, fair enough to him. They probably deserved it, didn't they?
I don't care, mate. I'm not being horrible. Like, I'm not being trying to talk red, but I don't have any sort of warmth or fondness for David Moyes.
That's a former Manchester United manager.
It's a Manchester United manager, Lola. Put me through the mill a bit.
Yeah, but for me, Man United managers are like presidents.
Go on.
Do you know, the president of the United States, they're always called president,
Mr.
even
President.
after they've retired. So it's still President Clinton, President Trump, whatever. To me, that is still manager.
Still burns me, though, Joseph. I flew all the way out to Athens to watch us get turned over off Olympiacos and made a trip to Germany to watch us get turned over off Bayern Munich. And now this guy, when he's at West Ham, starts delivering European trophies.
I know.
Who do you think he is?
The big one.
Pathetic, the big one. Eh? Have a word with yourself, Moise. Although he did help us, help birth Andy Tate, didn't he?
That's true.
Andy Tate without David Moyes is like
salt without vinegar.
Simon without Paul.
Simon. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. Simon without Pieman.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And we all know what that means. There's already loads of people in the chat and the comments. Not enough people though hitting that like button.
Hit it.
Hey, come on, hit the like. Give it to Mikey. He says, so sick of this circus. It's been worse than any of the disappointing transfer windows we've ever had. Okay.
I won't go that far.
Johnny Orbital says, why is Joe, and it's a super chat, you got to read that. Don't read that stupid. What are you not stupid as for? Why is Joe in his jammers? JK, GGMU, GGSP.
This is an exclusive.
So he did say GGSP, which I believe is Glory Glorious Floppy Joes.
This is an exclusive suit. This is no pyjamas.
Right.
It's not exclusive. All I just got it from around the corner.
Someone said you look like you. Someone else in the comments, by the way, said you look like you come out of Alcatraz.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I saw a picture the other day of the last prisoners leaving Alcatraz when they closed it down in the 60s.
Yeah.
Lovely little picky. So I thought, why not?
Do you think those guys did escape, or do you think they drowned?
Drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I agree.
Yeah.
Spectre says bananas in pyjamas.
Okay, that's enough of that. What about
Ben
some people
says
don't like
Joe
what you're
looks
wearing?
like.
Well, you look like a big olive.
It's a super chat. You got to read.
You don't hear me reading them out.
Ben Sorville says Joe looks like a villain from Crash Bandicoot.
Okay.
Robert Donovan says you look like a baseball player.
This is better, actually, Dono.
Yeah,
cheers,
Ramage also says that. Tan Boone Keng says, when is Joe cutting his hair? Handsome lad with short hair, innit?
What is this?
I like this.
Yeah, of course you like it.
Johnny Orbital says, does have a bit of Seth Rollins, agreed.
Right, that's all right.
Deadman says, Joe, are you wearing Carhartt?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just factually accurate. I don't know why that one.
John Hemingway says, has Joe just been released from a 1900 prison?
Oh, it's 1900 with a surname like Hemingway. Have a word with yourself, pal. Coming at me like Ernest over here.
Chappie Hall.
Anyway, that's enough now.
Says, Joe, I think you look nice.
It's about us. And there's transfers, think about that.
Chappie Hall says, Joe, I think you look nice.
Chappie Hall, thank you.
Fatty.
It's too little, too late, Chappie.
That's his name, not me calling him Fatty. Because I don't.
You're calling me Fatty,
I don't fat shame people,
I'll give you
right?
five fatty fingers in a sec, pal.
He says, I've been in a mental hospital with those PJs.
Right. I hope you were meant to be there rather than taking advantage of people.
Where's BMW Racing 974?
Stop this, Jay! Only you have the power to stop!
Says, where's Wally, where's Joe?
Where's Wally? He famously doesn't wear white and black, does he? He's red and black.
And red
and white.
I'll stop.
Right.
Peter Braham says, negative photo of a pinstripe suit.
Okay.
I'm done. Right, that's it. That's enough. Hey? Other than...
Right, fifth and final bid. Qatari banker Sheikh Jassim makes fifth and final bid to buy Manchester United. It will be the Sheikh's final bid, and he, after this Friday, will no longer engage with the process. According to a source close to the club, the Qatari banker... according to a source close to the Qatari banker, the bid is for 100% of the club, will clear United's debt, and has a separate fund for the club and local community. So Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos Group are the other main party trying to buy the club. It is understood one of Ratcliffe's suggestions has been to lower the percentage of United he wanted to buy from an initial 69 for all of the Glazers' stake to just over 50% or 51%. Which would allow co-chairman Joel and Avram Glazer to retain some involvement. Now, I can see you fizzing over there with a sort of delighted excitement that only someone trying to persecute one of their good friends can have. So go on, get your little thing out of the way and we can talk about some real news here. What's the last comment on the outfit?
Well, it's not the last, but it's the latest.
Okay, what is the...
Moley says, Joe wearing vertical lines to make himself look taller than Jay.
Yeah,
that is a good point.
That's the only reason I'm taller.
That is why he's tall, because he's wearing vertical lines. What's happening with this shit anyway?
It looks as though...
Tell me now.
If we're sort of reading between the lines, because we had this story earlier, if we're reading between the lines, and this isn't just me doing this, we saw it in the Times, it seems like this is a last throw of the dice for Sheikh Jassim. I think he thinks that Ratcliffe is in the lead, and that seems to be the case, that Jim Ratcliffe is the preferred bidder at this stage. I think there was always rumours, even back to sort of December and January when we started hearing about this, that some of the Glazers wanted to stay on. They weren't all in agreement about selling their shares. I think Ratcliffe seems to be the only one offering them the possibility of keeping some of their shares. And I think for that reason, it's going to take a bid bigger than the sort of reported one we've seen from Sheikh Jassim to blow that out of the water, because they sort of get their cake and eat it, which is what we said earlier, by going with Jim Ratcliffe's offer, I think.
Yeah, that does seem to be the line, like you said. That's what Matt Lawton at the time was saying. Matt Lawton, reliable journalist. I mean, again, there's always speculation, conjecture here, because no one actually knows. A lot of NDAs flying around, so I don't think you're getting on the phone to Rain and they're going, guess what? Joel's just told me he wants Ratcliffe and he's not bothered what Sheikh Jassim does. And we don't know the actual in and outs of this bid. We've been, had various reports, like you said, what it involves, but it might be enough to tempt the Glazers. It might be enough for them to sit down with Sheikh Jassim and say, you're going to be our preferred bidder, but you need to up it a little bit. We just don't know. Chris White says, this is a super chat, says, Ryland's looking rough. I don't know if he's referring to me or you.
I know who he's referring to, Jay. Because one of us looks 1% like Ryland and the other one looks 0% like Ryland, so it's probably me, isn't it?
Is this a wind up? V4D3R says, hey Joe, while you're there...
What do you mean while I'm here? Like I might go halfway through the video. I'm not Jay last week. I'm actually dedicated to this channel.
It's a super chat, you've got to read it.
Go on, Jay.
Can I get 3 scoops of strawberry ice cream, please?
Yeah,
and thank you.
Yeah, ice cream. I'm looking at ice cream.
I'm so glad Chris White, no, not Chris White, sorry, V4D, I've spent $5 to say that.
My favourite bit about that is, while you're there, like I'm just passing through. Right. Fucking hell, that's annoying, that one, because that one was genuinely funny, well done.
There's something that weird, like T2 the Izzo says Joe loves tin pineapples, pass it on. What's that mean?
I had a tin of pineapple in bed last night.
Pineapple, apple pen.
Who the fuck is that?
Is T2 Izzo the man you've been sleeping with?
Certainly sounds like it could be. Is that genuinely Lizzie?
T2 the Izzo, Joe loves tin pineapples, pass it on.
That's bizarre, I do.
Really?
I had a tin of pineapple in bed last night, Prince's.
Well,
T2...
Go on.
I'm not usually, I'm happy to go with store brand. Wow, was Prince's, and was it Prince's? Whoever it was on another level to your usual store brand. Anyway, can we move on? What do you think of this? How do you expect this to go?
I don't want to move on. I just want to do this all night.
I know you do, but maybe we can come back to it as
I'm bored
the
with all
night
the
goes
Takeover talk, right? If you want to talk about Takeover, get in the chat. If you want to talk about what Joe looks like or who he reminds you of, then get involved in the chat because all comments are valid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't discriminate on this channel.
No,
inclusivity.
Yeah.
That is the key.
Anyone can be ridiculed.
And ridicule is nothing to be scared of, as Adamant said. With this, nobody knows anything. It looks like you said, last roll of dice. If I was a betting man, I'd probably be betting on Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But the Glazers, no one really knows what to expect with them. Anything can happen. Also, with Sheikh Jassim, who does have access to this almost unlimited wealth, surely there's a scenario where he goes, come on, guys, here's another 400 million or whatever. Let's just get this done.
There was a report, and it's a supposed quote from his dad, who used to be the Prime Minister of Qatar, who sort of said, I don't really like the idea of this. Like, this isn't just a way to promote Qatar. This isn't some sort of PR venture. This is a business venture. So if that is true, people say things for all different reasons in these scenarios because you're trying to get the best deal. The Glazers will say things that aren't true, as will Ratcliffe, as will Sheikh Jassim. But if it is the case that this is purely a business thing, then maybe they don't see the value in going, blowing Ratcliffe out of the water and going 7 billion or whatever it would have to take for the Glazers to say, oh, you know what, we're gonna sell totally. Maybe it's purely a business decision, and the numbers don't add up. So, yeah, you may have unlimited money, but you don't get unlimited money by wasting money. They're obviously good with money. Yeah. So I don't think chucking 10 billion at the problem is going to be in line with their, good at money moniker.
No, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Could be some more twists in the tail. We are expecting it to happen. It's all about you, bro, if you're looking at the comments. But they're nice.
Are they?
Yeah, there was one here that I really liked.
Go on. You really liked it, so it's not nice.
Stephen Holmes says, shoeless Joe Jackson from Field of Dreams outfit. I like that.
Yeah.
That was Ray Liotta, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you build it, they will come. Although that's actually apparently not the quote, is it? That's one of those Mandela effect.
Yeah, lots of Man from Del Monte.
Yeah.
Comments as well.
That's why the tin pineapple came. That's the tin pineapple joke. Okay, makes sense now. The man from Del Monte.
Yeah, and he's you telling us about your bedroom secrets.
Not a bedroom secret.
You well went down that path.
Just a midnight tropicality.
How's he know that I like to put pineapple rings around me?
I didn't say that, did I? I said pineapple goes with gammon.
I was standing in front of the mirror with pineapple rings around me old man. Yeah, going.
It's the
man from Del Monte.
It's a sort of
he says, damn right.
Play in the bedroom. Like a little fairground game.
Hey, go on. Oh! Yes, sounds mint. Lop, my bobber's love, says... Sorry, let me do that again, because that was pure Brexit. Lop, right.
Fucking hell. Lop.
Sorry.
You fucked that up
was
so bad there.
Awful. I apologise to my friend Lop. Lop Mabelzov, right? Yeah. Or Mabelzov. Forgive me. I've butchered that one and I apologise because I hate that. Says Jay, am I getting...
Come on, fight back, give Jay some abuse.
Jay looking like Castaway.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, you don't remember that bit in Castaway with Tom Hanks where he wore a fucking green sweatshirt?
Olive-coloured jumper.
When he landed on the island and there was an Adidas shop there, so he sorted himself out. I don't know about that one. Someone says, can I say it? Yeah, we can. Nace Afeli says The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. I've seen that film, very moving. Check that out. Philip Collier says, Jay looking like Wilson with that head. That's the Castaway. Wow. With my head looking like a blood-stained hand print. We're crossing a line here with some of these comments. I will keep reading them out, though.
West Ham joined Maguire race. This is from ESPN.
Oh, I love this one.
Okay.
This girl, Stu, says, Joe about to open a dinosaur theme park. Love that. Fucking love that. Yes. Yes. You are Richard Attenborough, Jurassic Park. That is class.
Maguire interests Spurs and West Ham have been offered the chance to sign Harry Maguire this summer. Now, this is from ESPN. Maguire started just 8 league games last season, and Erik ten Hag is open to letting him leave this window. Maguire is under contract at United until 2025 with an option to extend by a further year. It remains to be seen whether a firm offer from Spurs or West Ham would be enough to convince Maguire. His wage is a potential stumbling block. He reportedly earns in the region of £200,000 per week, but that figure is set to rise, after United qualify for the Champions League.
What?
Harry Kane is Spurs' top earner on the same wage. It is likely Maguire would have to take a pay cut to join either club.
What? Right, he reportedly earns in the region of 200 grand a week.
Yes.
Right.
With a little Champions League clause in there.
But that figure is set to rise after United qualified for the Champions League.
Captain Marvel.
That is horrific.
Yeah, it is mental.
How someone who... Oh, what did you say earlier on? He started 7 games or something. 8 games this season.
In the league.
He's on 200k a week and he's going to get a pay rise. That's just rewarding failure, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I get that everyone hates on Maguire.
Yeah.
When he's had a bad season, and I always defend him and say he had a very good first 2 seasons, so it's not been all horrible. But it is ridiculous that he's on 200k a week, he's going to get a pay rise. Because the guy is literally our 5th choice centre-back.
I know.
It's mental.
Yeah.
Like,
it is
Luke Shaw, a left-back, plays in centre-back ahead of him.
I think as well, just on the last part of this about would have to take a pay cut to join either club, Maguire doesn't strike me from what he said about his about himself and his own abilities, the confidence we see from him. He doesn't strike me as the sort of man that would be happy knowingly sitting on the bench for season after season. I don't think at the start of this year he wasn't to know how it would pan out with Martinez, all that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know him personally, obviously, but the way he speaks about himself and his own career, I think he would favour first-team football over slightly higher wages. Personally, that's just the vibe I get from him. I don't see him as someone that's going to go, you know what? I'm here till 2025. If I have to sit on the bench, I'm getting my 200 grand a week. I don't see that.
There's also the small matter of the European Championships.
Exactly.
And this season, the World Cup being in the middle of the season helped him. Yeah. Because even though he wasn't quite a regular, he played enough games before the World Cup, and he was still match fit. And Gareth Southgate obviously likes him. Had the World Cup been now in the summer, Gareth Southgate looking at him going, you've started 8 games in the Premier League, you're 5th choice for your club. Can I really stick with you when I've got other players who are playing regularly and doing bits for their club? Sorry. So I agree with you. I think he cares a lot about playing for England, and I think he knows that with Gareth Southgate as manager, if he's playing regularly for his club, he will play for England. He was playing for England when he was at Leicester, so it's not just the United thing.
No.
But if he's not even getting off the bench, or he's, if we bring in Min Jae, there's every chance he goes to 6th choice centre back, and then I think he's going to have to move on. And I think he can leave this summer with a little bit of dignity intact, and United fans will be like, all right, didn't really work out. Not his fault. We overpaid for him. Gave it his best.
Yeah, never kicked up a fuss.
Never kicked up. Fair play. If he's still lingering around collecting a big wage, I think any sort of patience and sympathy the fans will have towards him, he's going to wear very thin, very, very quickly.
Especially when there are seemingly so many teams that want him. It's not like no offence, but like a sort of Eric Bailly situation or a Phil Jones situation where we're struggling for people here. Someone might take him on, but there are multiple Premier League teams by the sound of it. Tottenham in particular, who we'll sort of talk about in a minute with a potential swap. But Tottenham are a good team that could very well get Champions League on any given season, and it would be no shame for Harry Maguire to go and play for Tottenham. It's not like there's no offers here. I think he's going to go. Go on.
Johnny Orbital, it's not even that funny, but it made me laugh.
Right.
Said Jay brought his dentist.
Yeah. Dentist. What kind of dentist wears this? Like a dentist with cowboy times?
Well, actually, that's just stupid. Because dentists don't even wear this.
Dentists wear scrubs. Have you ever been to the dentist?
Hey.
I ain't.
Chris Mercado.
Right.
He's like anything to do with you. You're only kicking off with someone who's just put a super chat in. Right. Hey, I'll be going to New York pre-season game. Will you be having a meet-up? Been watching the channel for a decade. I would love to meet the lads. Yes, we will be over in New York. We will be doing some stuff over there, some events. We've not ironed it all out yet, but we will be doing some events over there where we can meet up with you guys, because we want to meet up with you guys over there. We'll meet up with John Shin, obviously, because he's part of the channel and part of the family, but we'll do some stuff over there. So by all means, watch this space. We'll give you an update, let you know where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, because we're in New York for a few days, and it'd be great to meet up with some of you New York Reds, because they're very passionate. Looking forward to meeting up with them, and have been very, very supportive of the channel as well.
Loads of United fans from all over the East Coast as well, weren't there? Because that's the only game on that side of the country.
Right.
So it's probably going to be people coming from miles around. So if anyone is going, there'll definitely be a chance to have a chat and talk about United.
Have a chat, and it'll be hopefully a good chance to see some of our new signings, because we are hearing that Erik ten Hag wanted, I think I had it in the news yesterday, he wanted he wanted two signings done by the tour.
Yeah.
He wanted Mount and another one done before the tour. We saw it last season. That kind of happened a little bit, innit? Because we got Ericsson, I think, and Miners and Malacia done quite quickly. Casemiro and Antony, obviously, when the season had kicked off.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes that sense. Again, Jay Dinsdale says, Jay, straight out of Shawshank. What? Why am I straight out of Shawshank?
Don't know. Maybe
it's because I look like Morgan Freeman. Right, what's next on the agenda?
Yeah, it's just a sort of extension on this potential swap deal when Harry met Harry. Who's come up with that? Alexi. Very well done, actually. It's nice, that. Harry Maguire's potential switch to Spurs could help London club keep hold of Kane. What?
Right, no, it's the way you say it. Right, so you say, whereabouts is it?
The top line.
Right, Harry Maguire's potential switch to Spurs could help London club keep hold of Kane.
Right, that's an interesting sentence. Should Tottenham Hotspur make a move for Manchester United outcast, harsh, Harry Maguire? It would delight Harry Kane. The Spurs' interest in Maguire is in no way linked to United's desire to sign Kane. Well, here's news for you. It is linked, because it's the same two clubs. I understand what they mean by that, but it is linked. It's going to get mentioned. You don't go into those negotiations and go, oh, hi, all right, anything you fancy? No. And then bring them up a week later. Oh, actually, we do fancy Harry Kane. Or actually, right, the Maguire meeting has stopped now. Let's start the Kane meeting now. Obviously not.
I never, ever got over the fact we didn't get Moussa Dembele from Fulham years and years ago. Because he tore us apart at Old Trafford, right? He was mint. We then sold Dimitar Berbatov to Fulham. And we didn't even inquire about Dembele. He then went to Spurs and was mint for them for a few years. And it was just madness to me. I thought, we got pennies for Berbatov as well. Yeah. And we needed another midfielder. Why don't we get him? I just never got it. It always baffled me. I think the point was Fergie didn't fancy him. But we want Kane. We don't want Maguire. Like, obviously, there's got to be money on the table from us, but it gets that conversation going and gets the deal happening. If they're going to pay, say, 30 million for Maguire, for example, and we say, OK, have Maguire, and we'll give you 80 million, so that's 110 million for Harry Kane, they might go, yeah, all right, we'll have a bit of that, because that's good enough for us to get a defender and enough money to buy another striker and have a little bit of change left over. They could go in for one of the players we've been linked with as a backup. Maybe they go and spend 70 million on Gonzalo Ramos or whatever. Yeah. But to not even consider that would be, even by United standards, beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, again, I said this last season, or in this season, I think the way Tottenham played under Conte, at least, and it remains to be seen how they play under Postecoglou, is it? That Harry Maguire would work in that system. What the fuck, man?
I'm sorry.
What's the next one? Come on. Outfit comment number 15. Go on.
It's Danny's son, 851, says, hi, Jay, is that Colonel Sanders' son? It's the way he's asked me that I love. I didn't say Joe.
Ask me,
no. Joe, you can. It's like, hi, Jay.
No, because he doesn't know who stood next to you. Yeah. He can't ask me because he's not sure if I'm Colonel Sanders or not.
Sort of made me think, hi, Jay, like, is this someone who knows me? And then it was like, is that Colonel? I'm sorry. I am sorry, bro. I am. Oh, someone's put. Oh, T2 the Izzo says Beetlejuice, laughing emoji.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Right. Anyway,
Colonel
listen.
Sanders and all.
If he wants to dress like that, he can dress like that, yeah? It's up to him. I'm not going to have him ridiculed on this channel.
All you've done for the entire video is have me ridiculed on the channel.
Yeah?
I don't know why I said it like that. Ridiculed.
And if you think I'm going to stand here reading out comments, ridiculing my friend and colleague, Joe Smith, just because he wants to dress like that, then you're damn right.
You are.
Right, I mean, no, I'm not. Right, go on, let's talk about the next one. Anyway. Eddie Rose.
This is from the Express, but it's also from Fabrizio Romano, so a lot of people covering this one now. This is talk about Newcastle.
Oh, here we go.
Well.
Newcastle.
Yeah. He's on the radar for several teams across Europe, apparently, after his title-winning exploits with Napoli last season. The Serie A... Serie A.
What's going on with this? This isn't novel, is it?
What?
Bit wonky there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on reportedly here?
Just sort of drops down and
Hey, reportedly.
Full screen.
Hey, can we have a look?
Pop it full screen.
Full screen, reportedly.
You see the P is slightly lower than the E.
Hey?
How's that happened?
Is this some sort of eye test?
Yeah, well done, Jay. You've passed that.
Right. What's going on?
A £42 million release clause will reportedly be made active on
Standards
July
are slipping on this channel in more ways than one.
No, don't point at my outfit when you say that, you dickhead. In more ways than one, and you pointed to the outfit.
I was pointing at the P!
You pointed to the outfit in more ways than one, didn't you? I'm going to read this graphic now. We're going to pop it full screen so I can punch Jay while no one sees.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
A release clause will reportedly be made active on July the 1st, making him a possible bargain for interested clubs. He's reportedly favouring a move to the Premier League. Reports state Kim's representatives have already held talks with Newcastle. The meeting is said to have taken place at St James's Park toward the end of last season. Fabrizio Romano has also mentioned that Disasi, who we're going to talk about in a bit, is wanted by United, but he is the Plan B option behind Min Jae. And there are some reports from slightly less well-known sources around Naples that this deal is almost done. Now, I don't know if they're unreliable or they're just not well-known enough, to have a known reliability, if you get me. However, this looks to me like there's definitely sort of fire with this smoke. United definitely want Kim Min Jae. The £42 million release clause, you can almost, I don't think you'll get quite that much from Maguire, but it's going to be in that ballpark, I would guess. You're almost, let's call it a rough swap. I think most United fans would take that. He seems to be a player who's on the rise. It was 24 years old, 26 years old. He's younger than Maguire. He's more suited to our play style. It just makes a lot of sense to me.
It does make sense, and I think it's easy to look at it and go, and I've been guilty of this, a centre-back can't be a priority. A centre-back, we don't need a centre-back, we need a midfielder. You've got a mint centre-back available in modern terms for pennies. 42 million quid in footballing terms for a Premier League club like Manchester United is pennies. And I know that sounds weird, but it is. And look where we've been this season. We've had Luke Shaw playing at centre-back. He's a left-back. We've had Diogo Dalot, who's a right-back, playing at left-back. And Wan-Bissaka obviously on the right. We've had to do this sort of merry-go-round in defence because we haven't had enough centre-backs when we've had injuries. So there's nothing to say that wouldn't happen again next season. Now, you look at Manchester City, and it pains me to say this because I hate them, but they have, 4 or 5 centre-backs that they can just recall on. And if Laporte or Diaz or Stones or Ake or Akanji starts, no one bats an eyelid. No one goes, oh, why is Laporte starting? Laporte, who was amazing a few years ago and who everyone wanted. Why is Ruben Diaz started? Ruben Diaz, who was one of the best defenders in the league, or I think their player of the year not long ago. Why is John Stones starting, who's like an England regular and just been a top defender since he was at Everton? Like, no one questions it. So yeah, if we can get him, because he's obviously a very talented kid. Yes, he's had like the one amazing season at Napoli before that, but Virgil van Dijk had 3 okay seasons, but not even, probably about 5 okay seasons or good seasons, and then exploded when he went to the Scousers, didn't he? Into this defender that everyone was like, oh, he's one of the best defenders of all time. No, I don't agree with that. So yeah, I just think the more I think about this, the more sense it makes, and we need to stop these lot fucking hijacking it.
Sure, I mean, no offence, I know Newcastle, you look at their owners, you look at the scale of the project there, they're becoming more attractive, but as it stands, Man United are a much more attractive proposition to most players in terms of chances of winning trophies, stature of the club, ability to build your own brand, all the things that people care about in the modern era. If it's Newcastle and United, I think, surely United would have the advantage there.
Also, I agree. And I think this kid could be a bit of a hero at United. I think he could. South Korean's obviously very passionate about their players. He's one of the best players. He comes to United, it's going to be, absolutely, the eyes of the world are going to be on you at United. They just are. And I think that it could be a good move for him. And also as well, you might look in, you go, oh, he's, Varane and Martinez are the regular centre-backs. They are, both of them, and to be fair to Martinez, he doesn't usually get injured. He just got that bad injury at the end of the season. Varane misses a lot of games. You don't even know as well, there might be sort of, not just rotations for Europe and stuff like that. You might end up doing a little bit of a madness where you have 3 at the back or whatever for some games.
Well, and I said it before, Lindelof and Maguire both played 30 games this season for United, both made 30 appearances. So even if he's coming in as a backup, he's probably going to get 30 appearances.
How old is he? How old's Kim Min Jae?
I think he's
25.
Is he 24 or 25?
Because Varane's 30, innit?
Yeah.
So let's say, just for the sake of argument,
26.
This kid signs a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
Within 2 years, Varane might be playing fewer games. 26,
yeah, he's 26.
Signs a 5-year deal. Within 2 years, Varane might be sort of winding it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And this guy might sort of take over. So makes a lot of sense. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Danny Jackson with the super chat, there's nothing on it. James Woods, is another super chat, says Joe.
Giving me that knowing glance of it's a super chat, so I'm going to read it out despite the fact that it's going to hurt your feelings.
It's a super chat, you've got to read it.
Go on then.
Don't read it out stupidness, I don't care.
Yeah.
James Woods says, Joe, hope the bet pays out now, mate. Pravab Kandawal says, Joe looks like a sharp man on a Sunday brunch cookout.
Finally. You know what I mean? Some compliments in that.
Mark Hatton asked, it's a very interesting question, quite pertinent. Yeah. How many tea towels did you have to sew together to make that suit? How many was it?
Less than you think, actually. There were beach towels, so it was only 4.
Right, okay.
Fronts, backs.
Okay.
And then the rest of it was made for the collar and the pockets.
Abhinav Verma, who's regular, says Jay and the Mad Hatter in the studio tonight.
Gosh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, I love the fact, right, we've done these videos, right, these lives, where we've said to ourselves, not a lot of news happening tonight. We do the video, though, we go through whatever news there is, and we talk about, tonight there's quite a lot going on.
Oh, tons of news.
Like, the takeover is imminent. It looks like we are getting to the end of it. We've got transfers that are actually going to happen. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We've got players that are going to leave. We've got one of the biggest strikers in Europe who's been heavily linked with us, and 98% of the comments are about your retire.
Yeah.
And no matter what story we move on to, it just keeps coming thick and fast, and I am here for that.
Top 3 so far, Colonel Sanders, can I get 2 scoops of strawberry ice cream? And have you opened a dinosaur-filled theme park? They're the best 3.
The best. I did like the dentist one as well.
I
just like the fact Jay brought your dentist wheel.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think the Jurassic Park one's
Jurassic Park was great.
The elite.
Yeah, so see if you can beat that. But I mean, also just could do with being nice to people in the comments, maybe. Sometimes people have had enough of the difficult comments,
Desperado says, Joe, where is the rest of the singing quartet?
Yeah, love that.
I love all that.
Yeah, come on then, Mr. Sandman, read out this transfer gossip here. Manchester United closing in.
Hello, Miss Man United's on the case. She's in here as well. She'll give you some love. She loves you.
Yeah, always nice.
Do you know what I mean? Right, go on. What's the next one?
Next one. Here we go.
If you're watching Miss Man United, Joe's getting ribbed by his outfit.
It's not necessarily ribbed. It's kind of jealousy.
Joshing.
Jealousy.
Oh, jealousy.
Personified.
Jealousy personified.
Yes.
Yeah, because
he
remembered it.
You, Jay, are envy manifest. That's how I describe you in 2 words.
Was that the name of your college band? Envy Manifest.
It was post-punk. Almost pre-punk in a way.
You are,
sort of come full circle.
I am right, because I look at that, and I think I love to dress like that. I love to leave the house like that with the confidence and just walk down the street through Eccles, dressed like that. I don't think I'd get to the top of my road before I bottled it and went back home and went, no, you know what, it ain't happening. You don't care. You walk out.
Don't care what?
You strut your stuff through Manchester City.
Don't care what, that I look like shit.
No, you carry it off, you look good. I said to you today when I saw you, I said, you look smart.
Right.
And it's a name as well, isn't it? Cars Art, yeah? Which is a brand.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Right.
And I admire a man with confidence. I admire a man who says, I don't give a toss what the world thinks. Yeah? I don't care how many comments say that I look like someone out of a Jurassic Park ownership club or whatever it was, or like I'm selling ice creams. I don't care. I am going to go on a live video with almost 3,000 people watching, dressed like this. So deal with it. Right, let's move on. Yeah?
Yep.
Thank you.
Than's for that, Jay.
It's all right, man. I'm here for you, brother. 02 says Babe Ruth. There's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of Babe Ruth comments. I should have said one of them ages ago. I've had about 12 Babe Ruths, so sorry. 02 got in there and caught my eye.
02 Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Don't know that. Axel Disasi is reportedly 1 step away from joining Manchester United. Monaco and Manchester United are yet to begin formal negotiations, but the Principality side, love that.
The Principality
side. You can't say Monaco more than once.
I know,
you have to say the Principality side, who have missed out on European football altogether after a late season collapse in form. are hoping to bring in between €40 million and €50 million, a sum which United are expected to have no issue paying. The report states that Disasi has opted to join Erik ten Hag's side. The 25-year-old centre-half tallied an impressive 6 goals and 4 assists, because that's what we signed a centre-back for, in 49 appearances across all competitions last season. His Monaco side finished 6th in League One, conceding 58 goals.
What is this nonsense? Like, the 25-year-old centre-half tallied an impressive 6 goals and 4 assists.
That's 10 goal contributions,
yeah.
man.
Oh, by the way, he conceded 58 goals.
And I don't know how good he is, but I had a little look at his stats earlier. And from what I saw, his tackles per 90 are in the bottom 1% of all centre-backs in the top 5 leagues. So no wonder they conceded 58 fucking goals. He was too busy trying to score.
He's shooting from the halfway line. What are you doing?
Just making no tackles every game.
Oh, I can't bother with that. It's like that guy at 5-a-side that just thinks he's like, he played for Altrincham once and he thinks he's 10 men. He's like, I don't track back and tackle like it's 11-a-side.
Yeah.
That's me, like, after a late season collapse in form, it all went wrong.
Which presumably he had nothing to do with. In fairness, I don't know much about him. I trust Ten Hag. I don't say I trust the scouts, but I think that the people who've been linked with have been solid in the last season. So if he's deemed to be good enough, I'm willing to put my faith in that. I don't know enough, and again, the stats, when you look at them in abstract, aren't particularly exciting. His best stats are his goal scoring for a centre back, which is obviously good.
And
6 goals, but that's
you know
not
the thing that
really
annoys me with centre backs that score goals, like. He scored, 6 goals in 50 games almost?
Yeah. Which
is a good return. There's a good chance you sign him and he plays 50 games for you and gets a goal.
Yeah.
Like, it's just almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't think like that. And we've had players before where we signed them and they've got a good goal-scoring record for them and they just don't do anything in terms of goals. That's not what they're there for either.
No.
And this guy, this sort of late-season collapsing form does trouble me. Danny Jackson says, was meant to put... If Ten Hag trusted Maguire, then I don't think we would have seen Shaw play at centre-back as much as we had.
Yeah.
Big fan of the channel, yep. Mo Wadder says, Joe, don't go near the zebras. It's mating season. That's good advice. Christopher Cox.
They shouldn't come near me.
This is a super chat, so I've got to read it out.
Not me.
This is, why does Joe look like Gareth Bale's and Colonel Sanders' love child? Why is Gareth Bale getting dragged into it?
The hair.
Oh, yeah, you do look like latter-day Gareth Bale, don't you? All right, fair enough.
Latter-day.
Ryan R says Joe appears to be the most absorbent presenter on the channel. What? Should we chuck water on him and test that theory?
If you put us both in a bucket, and we bring us both out, and you wrung us out, that's gone, and you wrung us out, it's back. I would definitely have more water on my person than you. Definitely.
Mate, that's the most bizarre comment ever, which is very in keeping with the theme of tonight's show.
Cold absorbent. Right.
Yeah.
Dean Henderson.
Oh, this guy. Do you know what, right? This guy has self-sabotaged his United career. I genuinely think he has. Even if he just kept his gob shut, I think he'd actually had a chance of being United's goalkeeper. I think if he'd have said, you know what, I'm going to stay and fight for my place, Erik ten Hag might have given him a tickle. But as it is, I think he sort of talked his way out of Old Trafford, and it's a bit sad, really, because he came through the academy, did all right when he was brought in by Ollie, had a couple of moments, but was a progressive goalkeeper, modern type of goalkeeper, sort of plays out from the back, commands his area, and has that little bit of swagger you need to play for Manchester United between the sticks. But that interview and the way he's gone on about, he didn't even want Erik ten Hag to look at him, he just wanted to get out of Dodge. It's not really what you want to hear from your players. I want players that are going to say, you know what, I want to fight for my place at Manchester United. And he wasn't willing to do that, and now it looks like he's off to Forest. Go on, I'll let you read this out.
Yeah, he spent last season on loan at Forest, making 20 appearances in all competitions before sustaining a season-ending thigh injury in January. They then got in Keylor Navas, whose loan has now ended, apparently, so they're in need of a goalkeeper. Forest want to make Henderson's loan permanent after avoiding relegation in the final weeks of the Premier League season and are expected to approach United for talks in the coming days. Henderson is under contract at United until 2025 and has the option of extending that by a further year. So he's basically got 3 years left on his contract because, that option is all in United's hands, so that has to be played into any kind of transfer fee we get for him. I would hope, if you are selling a keeper from one Premier League team who obviously has money to another one who obviously has money, it has to be a minimum, bare minimum, 15 million. Like, if it's anything less than that, it's a disgrace. I would think, realistically, you would want between 20 and 30, I think, for, they're buying a first-choice player for their team who they already know how good he is. There's no it's taking a risk. You know what you're getting. I think United should be demanding 20 plus.
I'm a bit torn with you, Henderson. There is a little part of me that feels for a 26-year-old who's had 1.5 very good seasons in the Premier League for Sheffield United and for Forest.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't perfect at Forest, but
he also had a brilliant season for Sheffield United in the Championship.
Oh, sorry.
I know you said Premier League. You weren't wrong.
Oh, right.
I'm just adding that to his
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
So one's a good season in the Championship, one very good season in the Premier League, half a good season at Forest, and half a decent season at United. 26, come through the ranks. There is a scenario where we could get some out of him as a player at United. He could become the keeper that he thinks he is, because he thinks he's mint. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Back yourself, I get it. But especially if we need to sell to buy, then we probably are going to have to take whatever. But it is a little bit sad. And still, I'm always like that with youngsters. Even with players like Tuanzebe and players like that, I'm like, oh, can we not? Is it not? It has to be sort of, no, it's definitely done. And with this guy, it's just so, for me, it's so dumb the way he went about things. He didn't need to do that.
No, because he could
be really
be
stupid.
Literally, United fans' secret weapon now. In every conversation you had, he could be, tell you what, Henderson could be coming back.
Yeah.
And if he'd have just gone to Forest and said, I'm focusing on Forest, I want to make sure we stay in the league, but I'm a Manchester United player and my aim is to make a career at Manchester United. If that's what he'd said, even behind the scenes you can slag everyone off and do all that. Everyone now would be going, give him a chance, give him pre-season, give him a chance. And instead, he comes out with that interview where he basically looks like he's saying, Solskjaer screwed me over. I don't even want Ten Hag to see me because I'm too good for to be him to demand me to be second choice to De Gea, which is what I think he would do. It was all just a bit Mardy, really, wasn't it? He looked a bit sort of childish, and I think because of that, United fans go, all right, well, fuck off then. And I think, like you said, I think that's a shame because he's a young keeper. I know he's 26, but that's young in keeper world.
9 years younger than when we signed Edwin van der Sar.
Exactly. And he's an academy player, but it looks like it's going to be the end.
You know what? Dean Henderson, he may well have a career that sees him become England #1, sees him end up at somewhere like, I don't know, Arsenal or Spurs or, somewhere challenging.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea does, wins trophies and you look back and go, we should have kept hold of him, but he's proper stats. And what did you think if you're the manager as well, when you've got a player that basically wanted to get out of Dodge before you arrived, rather than let you see what he was about?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great. I think that's it. We're going to wrap it up there. Just before we do, should we have some final comments?
Nah, probably no need for any more comments. We're getting, time-wise, getting on a bit. So
Mark Edmonds says, Joe equals world's biggest notepad. Thought he said something else when I first read it. I was about to say, I'm not reading that out.
Notepad is what you say to your teacher when you get caught calling your mate a knobhead.
You're the right notepad.
I said he was a notepad, miss. Why would I call him a knobhead? I know you're not allowed to swear in here.
I'm going to end with this one.
Right.
Because this is factual, and I think you took it in good humour. Kyle Chester says, Joe's suit is magnificent, and Jay's jumper is green.
Right.
There you go.
See?
Factual.
Can't argue that.
Can't argue that, and that is a real quiz. So we're going to leave it there. Big thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. It was a right laugh tonight.
Really good.
I really enjoyed that. And well done, son. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You keep wearing that, yeah? Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. You look all right.
What is this? Disgrace.
If you want to see more of his crazy wear, go and check out the Sloppy Joe's podcast. Very, very funny. There's a link in the description, probably. Producer Ethan's on it as well, and Joe McGrath. You know where to find me too, on Scotty and Marty and on here. I'll be back in the morning. He's going to be back in the afternoon with Stephen Howson. So we've got loads of great content coming up. We've also got an interview that he did with someone from Denmark, a Danish journalist who knows a lot about Rasmus Højlund. Really good interview. Go and check that out. We spoke to Kieran Maguire, football finance expert, about the takeover. Go and check that out as well. So there's loads of good stuff over on the channel. So make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. That's been Joe Smith. I've been Jay Moy. This has been Transfers Live. Thanks for watching.